everybody. Welcome to another episode of Voices of Hult. We are back here in San Francisco, and we're back with yours truly, Maz Kazi and Lydia, and we have a special guest with us, Alexander Wiese.
Thank you very much for bringing us on. Welcome to Voices of Hult, Alex, and thank you very much, Maz, for the energetic presentation,
By the way,
introduction.
she let me do this, so a special thanks to her.
You're welcome, Maz, anytime, no worries.
Right.
But yes, hello, Alex. How you doing?
Really, really nice. It's been the first time that I'm doing such a recording, so I still need to get used to this hearing, but it's a very interesting experience. And
Exactly.
I'm excited.
Every single time that you approach the microphone, your voice changes, and it's always okay, it's strange, but it's gonna be a normal conversation. And actually, the two of us know you with different names, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I introduced myself to you differently?
No. I knew you. I know you as Alex, but you've got a couple of names, and people call you by different names. So, Constantine, Leo, Alexander. So, what would you like our viewers to know you by?
Sure. Let's keep it simple. Let's just stick with Alex, and that's what I'm running with right now in San Francisco.
Great, Alex. Alex, for those who don't know you, who is Alex?
Sure. Let me give you a brief dive into who's me, my 60-second elevator pitch.
You see, your careers have done a great job. As you can see, elevator pitch, he's got it all precise.
I can make it happen. Yes. So as you already said, my name is Alex. I'm 23 years old. I originally am from Germany, Munich to be precise, and I aspire to become a management consultant with 3 degrees in business administration from Munich, and now 2 degrees, and I think we're going to talk about that later as well. My degrees from Hult, where I started in Dubai first and then rounded up my master's in international business in Boston before I'm now joining in for my 2nd degree in business analytics here with my classmate Lydia. So lovely to talk to you today as well. And running those academic things up, I really accelerate in analyzing business processes. And that's my whole passion. And that's what I've been doing within the last 5 years as well, where I was not only creating business cases in Australia when I launched my own startup for the first time, but I was doing them as well in Germany, the UAE, and now the United States. And I think my biggest accomplishment so far was that I was assisting at Bauer Kompressoren Group, which is, the only thing you probably need to know is that it's the global leader in breathing air compressors, and I was assisting there to create a new subsidiary where I enabled big amounts of subsidies, and it's excited where everything is going. And now I want to, speak more closely to the microphone. I need to get used to this.
You're fine, man.
Get into consulting now to prepare myself for success, and then in the long term, I want to transition to venture capital.
Okay.
Wow.
A lot of things here. Okay, but let's start from the bits and pieces of it. So you said that you're here in San Francisco, but before you were doing your MIB, so international business, so master international business in the Dubai campus, right?
Yes.
And then we met already before in the Boston campus for the different electives. How was this experience? How was the different campuses and how come you chose San Francisco now?
Yeah, very insightful question. I think what differentiates the campuses the most is the amount of people who are in there. And we clearly know that Dubai is the smallest campus, but honestly, I don't even think that it feels like the smallest one because it's literally just feeling like one big family. You've got one MIB, one MIB cohort and one MBA cohort, and that's it. And because of that, you feel very energetic and lively. But then on the other hand side, Boston is the biggest campus, and you've got so much going on. And I also love the fact when I was living in Boston, because I was in the Hult house.
Yeah, sure.
And that's definitely a unique trait in this regard. And then San Francisco, I knew I loved tech, and maybe that's one thing which I might have needed to delve into a little earlier in my life. But I said, San Francisco is definitely the tech city, so let's get into this. And I think that's why I'm so excited about San Francisco now as well. And also, I'm living with 2 MEIs actually,
Wow.
and that makes it.
Sorry, what is MEI? Even for the people that don't
Yes,
know it.
that's the Masters of Entrepreneurship and
Innovation.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and not only have I one student from the first year, but also from the second year. So I'm living together with 2 girls, and so in this regard, I have
Shout out
special
to
exposure
them.
to everyone. Exactly. Shout out to Mar and Hannah.
Exactly. Shout out to them.
Yeah, yeah. We are coming around that period now in the Hult semester when people get to pick their electives and transition among campuses. You have gone in Boston, in Dubai, and San Francisco. Tell us a little bit about each. Like, what makes each one different?
Of course, I think. Well, that's actually a tough question. I think when I'm speaking about electives, let me start off with that first. I think the most important decision you need to make there is to assess what are you interested in, and especially which professors are teaching those courses. I think I had the best professor in my life, which was Joel Littman, and he taught 2 finance electives for me, which were global strategic valuation and return-driven strategy, and they were mind-blowing. And I think there's so much you can take from the table if you choose the right electives. That's something you should definitely consider. And I think I really made a good choice there in Boston. What makes Dubai special is that it is so close and intimate, and there's a lot organized by the student services. And because there are not so many clubs and not so many events, everybody is more or less engaged in everything, and the participation in all the events is pretty high. And San Francisco is different to both Boston and Dubai again in terms of that we have the EY even on campus, but you don't even notice it. But it's very similar in a way that it's also very hashy. The MBAs are running around always on the 4th floor here, where we are on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think
it's also very, very different because the ambient is just a total different.
For
program.
like the start like here in San Francisco, I believe that it feels like a startup as well. Like the building itself feels like a startup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're, I think, like very inside the city. We are in the Marina area. So for the people that know like San Francisco a little bit better, like it's beautiful around here. The financial district is pretty close, and you can really see this vibrant city like breathing that vibe as well, like here in the campus. So I think that that's what make it like San Francisco a little bit different. And there are so many events to attend, as you were saying, even in Boston, of course, completely different, like every single campus. Yet, as you were talking about before, like there is something that always bring them together, like
Yes.
Hult DNA, right? We always talk about this, and here it is.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you were talking about like Dubai. I mean, like you spent there already 1 year, and there were like different. You talked before about how like it felt like a family, and we know each other already for a while. And I know that you are the president of the Hult Mentorship Club, and you kind of took, like he was telling me that he literally understood what was like going, like he took it as an example, the different events that were happening in Dubai, and then making it even bigger with your club. So tell us a little bit before like diving within your club, what is mentorship to you? What does like that mean? And I know that you do have 2 mentors, and I don't believe that everyone has got it. I don't have it myself, for example. And that was like a genuine question that I believe that many people would be like interested in knowing a little bit better. So please introduce us to this word of mentorship.
Yeah, sure. Let me do this. I think before I dive straight into the question of what is mentorship, I think you first have to consider us students, and we all know our problems. Most of us don't know where they want to head for, and they are studying something right now because they feel like that's what they wanted to do, or that's maybe something their parents have told them, and they really don't think about so much about their future. But that is so important if you want to be successful in life. And I just think in order to know where you're going, you need to know where you need to go. And that's where a mentor is very handy, because he's able to guide you in this process by, on the one hand side, sharing his story about where he ended up in life, but also sort of analyzing where you are right now, and he might be able to give you some valuable tips where you can go towards. And on the other hand side, that's what I realized a lot as well when I was finishing up my first program, first from Dubai and then to Boston, is that so many students are not proactive. And we all know our lovely student services team, not student services, careers team, who pushes to say, okay, make this goal and then reach out to so many people, but actually so few people do it. And what I see in mentorship and sort of a mentor is that he's sort of an accountability partner for you, where you commit to yourself, a little bit like a marriage, not that serious, of course, but you're definitely getting into a relationship. And you commit to something, and you realize once there's something serious, you really think about this more clearly. You reflect on where you want to go, and then prepare for success.
Okay.
Right. Alex, leading to this idea of a mentor, you also previously mentioned about one of your mentors who was not just an amazing mentor, but a close friend. Who goes by the name of Vishal. This also ties into the whole origin story of what is today the Hult Mentorship Club. Tell us a little bit about that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day where we're diving into now HMC and what is the Hult Mentorship Club about as well. And I'd love to go a little bit short back to Dubai before that, where I really love the networking sessions which were hosted by careers. Shout out here to Mandy Sahota if you're listening to that. Props to you there, who was organizing really, really nice events where people came together. We had nice gatherings with some canapes and snacks and drinks. And I realized networking is nice, but you need to go beyond this. And then I came to Boston for my electives, and I met Vishal in both classes with Professor Joel Littman. And he talked to me about this club and how he was creating a public speaking series and how so many people reached out to him and thanked him and said, this is amazing what you're doing. And then I realized that's something I should do too. Why not take this club over and make it even bigger and really envision the idea of mentorship and not just keep it in essence of, okay, I want to develop your skills, but I actually want to do exactly what mentorship is about, is a one-to-one relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's pretty interesting as well, like to understanding, like, because you were talking about, like, the careers teams does it, like, comes to you during a program immersion and tells you, okay, brings this plan, you have to do this, you have this time here to spend, because at the end, like, time flies when you're having fun, and I'm telling you, even when you're pretty busy, it does fly. And then, like, you arrive maybe, like, at the end of your year and you didn't completed that, that deadline, or that you didn't posted that LinkedIn post. You didn't reach out to different people, or you might have just, like, gone to a little bit fewer events, and it's just all about consistency, maybe. It's just like being there and say, everyone can do it, literally, but is maybe staying there and literally be consistent despite how busy you are, how stressed you might be for an exam, still reaching out to people, go to that event, and sending as well, like, that LinkedIn request. Who knows what will lead you? Yesterday, actually, we've been to an event led by the Women in Business here, the club here in San Francisco. And I do remember that Corina, shout out to her as well.
They shout outs today, nice.
Exactly, every single time, they were talking about, like, the yes theory. Like, when you say yes to things, then you're starting to accept things and you're starting to move. If you say no, then, like, you're static, like, you're staying there in your position and your status quo and nothing changes. So, like, those little things, as you were saying, little milestones that you might, like, put for yourself, or someone might suggest it to put it on your schedule, definitely completely changes, like, your perspective as well, like, for the career, I believe. So
Definitely. Yeah.
And so what are the different initiatives like that you bring at Hult Mentorship Club? HMC, right?
Yes.
Called HMC.
Exactly.
Perfect.
To keep it more precise, also for the title announcements on my courses. If you write the whole name already, you don't even see the mid-name. So let's
Character limits
use
here.
HMC.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Now, as I already saying, I wanted to really dive into the mentorship program, and we're actually just about to launch our M2MP program tonight, in fact, at 7 p.m., where I'm very excited about, where we have collected 27 mentors with 33 mentees.
Nice.
Most of them here from the SF campus, but that's the beauty of it. Some people are from other campuses as well. And I realized mentorship is something where people might be a little bit scared of when they hear it from it the first time. So I said I need to sort of create a funnel before I get people into this mentorship idea and become more friendly with it. So I said, let's take what Dubai offered with those networking panels and bring this to HMC and sort of give the students already an insight of how it might look like if you have a conversation not by just listening to a group of alumni, but on a one-to-one basis. So that's what I organized for alumni panels. I was really, really busy because I was straight rushing into it. And Lydia knows as well, as we're dual degrees, we're starting 2 weeks even after. And before we are supposed to submit the club, we already have 5 deadlines to submit. So
oh yes, be prepared for that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the astonishing part is, ever since I've come here in San Francisco campus, I've seen Alex do all these things with respect to the Hult Mentorship Club, organizing panels, getting people together, and the work ethic that you've put into this really speaks to, you know, your passion with respect to this whole project, and that's something that really is amazing, I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations for this. Seriously,
Yeah.
I think that
Thank
we
you.
can speak for a pretty good people. I believe that the mission that HMC is bringing and what you are like delivering, it's very, I would say, helps many people, many students that might be struggling for getting like a proper path.
And it goes beyond this current batch. I was speaking to a couple of alumni before coming in, and I was asking them, how do you get a job? Like, how did you land this particular role? And some of them shockingly told me, hey, I was part of this mentorship program from HMC, and I got tied with this mentor, and I made this connection, and I knew what to do, and that's how I got the role. And then I'm like, wow. And anyone who, especially in the Bay Area, one of the key aspects of getting the role that you want or job that you want is having a really good network. Apart from your skills, your personal skills, the knowledge that you have, having a network is super important. And that's something that you have really tried to foster here in the HMC.
Definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what is the vision of HMC?
Yes, as you completely correctly say, I don't want to have it like a one-time wonder and then it's over thereafter. So I really envision to have this as a continuous process which starts now, and we sort of have this program now as our alpha test. It's going to be 6 weeks, and we're collecting dozens of feedback, ideally from the mentors and the mentees, and understand what their needs are, how it's working right now, because right now we're giving everybody quite a flexible approach. And I think that's valuable because, once again, you sort of want to be in a safe environment. So we're going to take it from a starting point, and then we are already planning to create a second batch right thereafter. We might even sort of start over before the first program has finished, because then we don't have a break in between, which is a nice idea. And then I'm already planning to think about succession, because Lydia knows that as well. We're graduating very, very early. I told her like last week or yesterday, within like 10 to 12 weeks, which is nuts. So I said I need to think about succession. Same happening here, that Mars is probably taking over the club next year.
Maybe. You never know. You never know.
Has already introduced this episode, so congratulations, my boy.
Right.
So I'm ensuring the same now for HMC, and also planning to ideate maybe some sort of collaborations with other parties to ensure that there is a continuous process. And I'm also about to host some workshops in January, and I already know that Student Services is planning to support me in this regard, to also push this marketing-wise a little bit bigger. And I think what's really important is to be first open-minded to things and try things out. And then if they don't work out, you can still cancel them. But first, have a starting stone. And I think that's what we learn at Hult about a lot. Is also lean management, to just get things starting. And I know I'm actually not the best example for this because you know me, Lydia, I'm quite a perfectionist, so I optimize everything. But you just need to start things, and then you can adjust, ideally with a small sample size, and then scale up from there.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And it's amazing as well, like the support that sometimes like you can receive, not just like from students, but as well like from the staff, from student services as well, careers too. We have collaborated for different panels that have been raised here during the semester and will definitely be as well, like even in the next semester. So yeah, and actually we do have a question from our previous guest for you. And I know that you're very organized, you're very on point and meeting every deadline. But if you could change just one thing from your life, what would that be?
Lovely question.
Yeah.
I think if there's one thing I realized I'd like to change is I sort of live by a mantra which is called fear is my personal guide into freedom. And my father hates it, by the way.
Okay.
Shout out to him here. And
Right.
Shout out,
what I see in this regard is not that I see it as something where I'm fearful, but where I'm seeing fear as a catalyst for change, where I see that's something where there's growth potential, and I'm going into this, and I haven't really looked into that many of leadership opportunities before. I started now with my second master's. I mean, I was already doing the vice president role of the Hult Consulting Club in Dubai, but before that, in my undergrad, I was doing some initiatives, and I was leading actually a big organization of student fraternities back in Munich, but I was not proactively looking straight to those real leadership positions, not the VP positions, but the president positions. And I realized how much I've grown already within the last 2 months. And I should have started with that earlier.
Well, that's impressive, seriously, because I believe that you're a true leader. And congratulations on this, on mastering literally those skills in less than 1 year. So as you can see, like literally everyone can do it. And I'm super, like I can guarantee like you're a great leader. So congratulations on this.
Yeah, and it definitely ties back to your mantra in the sense that when you said fear is your personal guide into freedom, it's indirectly it's you trying to come out of your comfort zone and get in these areas where you actually grow, and that is, I think, one of the trademarks of a leader. So yeah, amazing, fantastic stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And do you have a question for our next guest?
Yes, in fact I do, and I hope the next participant is not going to be so scared about the question which I'm about to hand up with, but it needs to be asked, and I love to ask this question.
Drum rolls, therefore.
Is that at the end of the day, I'm presenting the Hult Mentorship Club, and what I'm discussing a lot right now as well with my mentor Vishal. We talked about it a couple minutes ago before briefly. Is where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Okay, so the question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Lovely. Yeah. I'm supposed to answer it myself.
Yes,
as well.
Exactly.
Of course. Yeah, I was actually just having a session with Vishal about that on Tuesday, and where I want to be in 10 years is I want to become a senior partner at a top-tier consulting firm.
Okay.
And on the side, I want to have launched my own tech business, maybe with 10 employees at that time, and reach the $2 million in revenue. And also, by the time I turn 30, I want to be engaged, and by the time 10 years happen, I want to have 1 or 2 kids.
Okay.
Oh, he's got it planned out right from a profession to personal. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, great.
And
great
you know
stuff.
it better. Like he's pretty organized, so he's got it all. And not just like 10 years, but 20 years as well. So congratulations on this. Let's catch up as well and have a next episode in 10 years, therefore, and see. And
Sounds
I truly
good.
hope
and see
that
if I made it.
I truly hope that you make
and
it.
more importantly, we wish you all the best.
Exactly.
Thank you.
With respect to HMC and your personal and professional goals. All the best.
Exactly. But Maz, we're not ending here.
Of
and
course
you
we're
know
not.
it.
Of course we're not.
So where, Maz, do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well,
That's what she told me.
yeah. I mean, it's personally, my journey has also been similar to some Alex's, in the sense that I've had to get into areas of uncomfort and grow. And I had a tech business back in Dubai. Actually, I was in Dubai for 7 years, and I had a tech startup, ran it for 2.5 years. And I know how incredibly difficult entrepreneurship can be. So my goal, at least in the next 10 years, is I want to have a tech startup that is a unicorn and is valued over $1 billion. And more importantly, I want to make an impact on the world, and I want to change lives. So if I can do that, if I can have a direct impact on the world and I'm changing lives, I would be happy. Like, I'd die happy. So that's my goal. Yeah.
Lovely. Maybe we start a venture together.
Oh,
in a couple years.
100%. I mean, and that's what Hult is about, right? It's about meeting different people. You never know who you meet, how collaborations go, how networks start, how ideas form. And that's the beauty of Hult. You've got German here, you've got an Italian here, you've got an Indian here sitting here, and we are all on this podcast. We're doing different things. We have different initiatives. We have different ideas and goals, and it's all about coming together and starting something beautiful. So yeah, that's what it should be.
Thank you guys for sharing this, genuinely, and see you therefore around in campus.
Definitely.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.